But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, 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 hours. And it's coming down to now, and now, and now, and now, and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, 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 I was. You were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, 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 hours. And it's coming down to now, and now, and now, and now, and never. I was putting in the putting in.
Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable. But I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me. But something about it makes us so, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Frost Esports here for our weekly Blizzard Rocket League tournament. Tonight is number 169, brought to you by UGG. It's gonna be a good one with over 60 teams signed up, trying to earn some cash money here tonight. My name's Llama77, and that cutie beside me is Quanzek. Quan, how you doing tonight?
You're too kind, Llama. Thank you for the kind words. I'm doing well. I've had a wonderful day up to this point, and I'm excited for the capstone for my Monday evening to be some wonderful Rocket League action. There's some high-caliber teams that we'll be seeing out here on the pitch, and nothing to scoff at by any means. 169 is a nice number, and we will get underway here shortly with this display for this weekly tournament, and I'm happy to be back too. I haven't done a Frostcast since I believe 2022, which long time coming.
Been a long time. That's about when I started at Frost as well. So, fun times here tonight. If you guys are new towards Frost, we've been playing this tournament all the way throughout the night. So we're starting in our winners semifinals. It'll be a best of 3. You win that, you get to a best of 5. You win that, all of a sudden you get a guaranteed spot in the grand finals in that best of 7. The good news though, Quan, is we're playing double elimination. So if you lose one of those series, if you have a misstep, you have a chance to earn your way back to the grand final.
Yeah, it's the Rocket League standard, and that room for breathing leads to a lot of drama, not just roster-wise, but tournament-wise as well. Long lower bracket runs that end up in a team just somehow winning 8 consecutive series down there, ending up in the grand finals. Or, you have the advantage coming into the grand finals as well if you aren't going to be the ones to drop down. So we will take to the pitch here for game number 1, our opener on series. And it'll be Queue Up Mana versus Casino. Some names that are very well known in the Rocket League community. And both these teams are going to strut their stuff and make their way into the winners finals. It's going to be Queue Up Mana on the board quick. Kiwi starting early.
Love to see it. Some great passing plays to steal away the corner boost, and then a just nice follow-up shot there that slides under the crossbar. For Queue Up, you talk about playing against a really good Heps, one of the all-time goats of Frost here, trying to work their way back from a deficit. The good news about Rocket League, you've got those 5 minutes to try and earn your way, but Kiwi just obliterates a player through the sky, gets the shot, and then the follow-up passes. Queue Up is starting to put the pressure on very, very early.
Yeah, looking to set the tone, and with that being said, I believe a kickoff goal in game number 1 might be one of the most inconsequential goals in a Rocket League series, especially mental-wise as well. So it'll be Casino. You mentioned Heps leading this crew over here, just looking to get back on track. Have been able to exit their half. Is Yoko going to take a 50 there? What a good dunk by Stu, and this may give Casino enough momentum. He gets called off, and there it is. Heps, the placement into the far right.
I love the kind of transitional offense there from Stu, who was able to not only get the hand up, but back in their own side of the field, just win that sidewall duel, get it up into the air, and get it to the big man Heps in space. A perfectly placed shot there towards the right side of the net. Casino has struck back. Queue Up, they will get a chance of their own to answer with the remainder of these 4 minutes, but you gotta be careful about Heps gaining some confidence.
Any sort of momentum in Casino's corner would spell danger for Queue Up Mana, and they're looking to negate that immediately. Mega shot on, that one ever so creeping towards the goal line, will get saved away at the last second by Creature, although they're not out of the woods yet. That's going to be a slot from Kiwi around the midfield line, off the bar and in.
Finding unique angles to score, always the important way to get into the series here, and this time it's Mega on the assist again. Kiwi's gonna double up on the goals off of just 4 shots here. 50% accuracy, is able to score 2 of them. Creature, though, adding a little bit of that mechiness towards the end of that drive. That's what I love so much about this Casino team, is they've got Heps, a really stable midfielder, but Creature can definitely add that spice to their offense.
Dangerous from anywhere on the pitch, and they've shown that already with the swift transition goal that they found. Looking for their second equalizer of this game number 1. However, Stu, infield pass. Creature gets a piece of it, but it's just gonna ricochet into the opposite corner, where Heps will take over and get that one taken off his hood by Yoko. Now Heps again in the corner, infield to Creature. Couldn't find the angle with the defense collapsing. Queue Up have done well as I say this. Heps gonna find the top left corner, and we're all tied up at 2 apiece once more.
Always so dangerous to clear that ball back across the center field. Sometimes it's the only option you have, and Heps this time, Stu even gets the credit for the assist, battling there into the corner. So it's going to be on either side, 2 goal scorers and 2 assisters scoring either of those. With just half this game left to play, next goal could be very consequential to regain that lead, get some of that momentum. The difference right now for Queue Up, they've got 6 shots to the Casino too.
I mean, we've seen them set up the extended bouts of pressure multiple times now. That's a good demo from Yoko, hoping to get exactly that going, keeping with the challenge. Mega gonna collect and try to fake out. Heps, a little bit of mind games coming out, but couldn't get that one towards the net. Good challenge by Yoko. This is open field for Kiwi. Flip around one. It's off the crossbar. Follow-up. And it's off there again. Mega goes underneath the final two defenders, and third time's the charm for Q Up Mana.
The fourth teammate, that crossbar, putting in work on the play, but Mega investing every single ounce of boost they had towards the end is just able to finalize it. You said it, just rotational force, getting the third touch and getting the goal. The ninth shot is a banger that finds the lace for Q-Up. They have controlled the entirety of this game, almost always just holding down this lead. Casino needs to score back-to-back goals. They want to try and get some of that momentum back to their side.
I mean, having their first lead of this game would be instrumental, but it's night and day the type of games these teams are playing right now. 9 shots, as you mentioned, for Q Up Mana. And Casino, they only have 2, which means, yes, they're shooting 100% from the field, but it's just not enough shots. Get some more pressure, establish this momentum, get a lead. Maybe this is it. Good save by Kiwi onto Creature.
Just reading the passing play nicely, getting in front of it inside the paint, and again, the defensive rotations just as good as on offense for Creature and the rest of the crew. And it's also been the boost battle, having to work backwards towards their own corners to pick up any sort of remnants of boost, and Heps trying to work their way through the midfield, but as Q-Up just sets themselves in the defensive side, it has been harder and harder for this Casino squad to get any sort of leverage.
Heps. Good challenge there. Has enough boost to maybe make a play out of it. Just going to fall on top and doesn't time that 50 correctly with Yoko lying in the weights. Kiwi into the opposite corner, and they're happy. They're content to just stall time. These booming clears coming out from Q Up Mana. They have no need to score, and I don't think they even want to. That demo actually opened up a lot of space, however, which means maybe Heps could get help from Creature. It comes in the form of a team bump. Don't think that was the type of aid that they were looking for. 30-second warning gonna pop up here on screen, and Casino still need that equalizer.
Need one, and gonna need it quickly here. The demolition onto Heps is gonna make it even tougher. Spawning from that back right corner, has to go backwards on the save. Does protect the net, but at what cost? Burning down the time, maybe just one more drive here, and Q Up with all of the control in the world. Another bouncer off the corner, 000s on the clock, a good 50, and Q Up will take game number 1.
They look good doing it here, Llama, and I think this is gonna have to be a situation where Casino goes back to the drawing board, because yes, 3-2 is the scoring line. It looks good. If we broke down the individual statistics, though, time of possession, field domination rank over to the side of Q Up Mana, I don't think it's close. And Casino, they were lucky to execute on the transition plays and the good shot by Heps that we saw. He got credit for both of those goals, but you can't end up winning a game when you're playing defense from your own half the entire time. They did show that it was possible to score from their own half, but just too much pressure to overcome, and that's what led to the deficit there. So those adjustments, those tweaks, I'm hoping for a more even playing field heading to game number 2.
And hopefully, I mean, you said it, Casino kept the game close throughout the entirety of it, but really were never able to get that lead. We're never able to hold on to any sort of momentum. They were always playing catch up, and this is only a best of 3 as we talk about. So sure, you lose the one game, you say, okay, it was close. So what? Your opponents are on series point as we head here into map number 2.
Good booming touch there by Kiwi. Already registering a shot for Q Up Mana. It is an easy save for Creature, but maybe indicative of what's to come for these two rosters. Stu shitting this one down in the corner. Mega doing what they can on zero boost. And all 3 Q Up Mana players actually end up on top of each other here, but a triple command is okay as long as you're able to get possession of the ball and get this one out. A couple of 50s, low boost for Mega. They're going to get a touch, and for the first time maybe this entire series, Llama, Casino setting up an extended pressure and able to generate a genuine scoring opportunity there.
However, it's that defense. Gotta give Q up so much credit. Not only their offense in that game number 1, but their defense had stepped up to the marker, denying some of these passing plays, but Heps will be denied here again. Mega intercepting, Kiwi getting a piece of the secondary, and Casino once again on the back pedal after a great offensive drive. Creature one to beat, Mega in the net, and Mega can't quite save it, but the post can.
The fourth man coming up huge there for Q-Up onto the mind game, succeeding for Creature, just not able to slot in. This one, though, will find the twine. Stu, a banging shot off of a dime. It's on a rope from Creature, and Stu wouldn't have missed that one. Otherwise, I think they wouldn't have ever heard the end of it from Creature. Casino on the board first here in game 2, and they're doing what we wanted them to.
Already 4 shots here in this game, already just looking for each other a little bit more, where it felt Creature and Heps were kind of tied together in that first game. Everybody playing very selfless, just trying to get some goals on the board. And of course, Casino, if you win this second game, the possibility of the momentum switching back to your side is very large. So Q-Up definitely don't want to give it to him. Still a 1-goal game, but it's been a while in towards this game number 2 that they haven't had a goal.
Let alone pressure. Their only shot was off of immediately following the cheat on the kickoff about 3 seconds into this entire game. That's a good redirect clearance here by Yoko. Kiwi gonna sink on in, not the touch that they want, just gonna give up possession to Heps, and if Mega, no, they will go for a psycho attempt. Has to cut off their ankle with Creature breathing down their neck, and this looks like a completely different Casino roster. They've gone and bought back in, and they're looking better for it.
Really seems like the offense stepping up closer towards that 50-yard line, the half field, whatever you want to call it here. It has been a struggle for Q-Up to get the clear even out of their zone, and when they're getting it down here, it's just a perfect read from Casino, it seems like every single time. That time again, Stu has to step down to the lower paint, make the save, and get it forward. Still only the 1-goal lead, but the pass is just too perfect, and Yoko's there in time to save it.
Rotation holding true for Q-Up Mon, and they've done well to keep this one only a 1-goal deficit, but Casino still knocking on the door here. Stu beating 2 with that touch. Mega racing to the ball, gets beat with the backboard defense. Too good for Yoko. Heps gonna hit a quick little power slide, do a full 360 to get back to this one, and then get an infield pass to a 0-boost Creature who just awkward angle and no boost to help maneuver his car to get there. And it'll be Q-Up Mana taking back over with a little bump. That'll help out, but Creature says, get this out of my house, and I'm just going to send it back into your half.
I really do love the meckiness that Creature is bringing. Talked about it a little bit in that game number 1, but was using it in a different way to try and help out Heps on the scoring. This game very different with only 90 seconds left to go. A single goal on the board. The lead for Casino here, and they've got the 6 shots, double the output of what Q-Up Mana have put on this game so far. However, one more goal would feel really good to allow them to get that safety blanket.
Yeah, the insurance, the cushion, I agree. The comfort level that it would give you is instrumental in this game here. Hep's going to convince the third man, knows that they can beat that oncoming attacker. It will be a free breakout here, though, for Q-Up. Mega gets the flip reset, but has to give way to Stu, and it's gonna be Casino still looking to buy some time. That's a good demo. Kiwi sinking in, gets it over 1, open net to shoot, and it's off the crossbar and back out. Q-Up, that was their opportunity. Of this one ends up in a 1-0 scoreline. Kiwi's gonna wish they had that shot opportunity back.
It's going to be haunting them in their dreams. Creature, their dream to score is cut short by the wake-up alarm of Yoko. With only the 4 shots, again, Q-Up have been limited on their opportunities, but it's now or never. A little bit of friendly fire at the goal line. Creature just trying to put everything they have behind the ball, but it's one more dip down to the other side for Q-Up, and Heps has got the control, lays it off an opponent. Mega 1v1, Stu wins it, slamming it down to the ground. Kiwi's there, but not there for the second touch. Casino battle back. We're going to a game 3.
Casino didn't end up finding that insurance, but they did well enough to just maintain their lead and maintain their pressure. They really let off the gas once they found that opening goal. There wasn't nearly as many shots as we saw beforehand, but just didn't enable any real opportunities from Q Up. There was almost always somebody challenging around that midfield line, and if it somehow got past that person, multiple people in the net to ward off any shots that would have been oncoming. And so Casino, hard-fought Game 2 win, and we're all tied up headed to Game 3 here, which means it's effectively a best-of-3, and both these teams have everything to play for to get themselves into the winners' finals.
Yeah, this is it right in front of you. You got the single game to try and move your way on. And obviously for these two teams, it's been 1-goal games for both of them, decided by a little bit different of a scoreline, but both teams have been in it. And for QUp, I feel like that is a little bit tough game to play and then go into a series deciding game number 3 where you didn't get any goals, where you didn't really get your offense going. And even though you're leading in the series, Casino clearly has the momentum going into game 3.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming by any means, though. It's not like a stranglehold that Casino has. That was a 1-0 game where the shots ended up relatively equal. So momentum for Casino, definitely, but not insurmountable for QUp Mana. Creature off the kickoff, going to take a 50 onto Mega, and this one will filter into the corner for QUp Mana, where Yoko takes it the length of the pitch and eventually loses possession over to Heps, who's looking for that double tap. Actually had the angle had he had maybe 6 more boosts in the tank. That's all that would have taken, but it'll be nothing registered shot-wise for any one of these rosters, despite the quick back-and-forth action to open up Game 3.
Shot there, Hep save. Good defensive pressure here. Mega really starting to lay in those longer range shots. It felt like for QUp in that second game, looking for a little bit more close range cuteness to go back and forth. Instead, Casino, they're on the demolition crew. Stu's gonna look for the backboard. Creature a little bit high up, will set it for the third. Hep's bouncer shot off the post and right back to Creature for the Casino first blood.
I said momentum wasn't necessarily something that couldn't be overcome, but a swarming offensive here from Casino puts it firmly into their corner. A well-orchestrated attack that ends up with a Creature redirect off the back wall, and Casino looking good here in Game 3. It might be that Game 1 was simply just a warm-up for them. They were dusting off the fingers from the break that they had from the previous series. Who knows? And it's going to be Casino looking for an early second. Stu off the crossbar, and that one denied by QUp Mana's 4th man.
Another post save. That post has really been insurmountable, it feels like, for both these two squads throughout the series here today. Obviously pushing in for even more. Casino have really started just building up the oxygen meter, exposing it to level 10, and a save there for Kiwi, but they're just being forced into awkward positions. They're not able to get this rotation up, and it's a good boost win there from Mega, where they really wouldn't have had any resources to play with at all. Instead, the steal away almost causes a goal.
That was such a good pass from Kiwi. Ends up on Yoko's hood, and Yoko had 0 boost. That pass had to be perfect. Yoko didn't have to hit the brakes at all, just drove into it and turned into a really genuine opportunity there for QUp. Good double 50 there by Kiwi. Creature lost possession over Yoko, goes off the back wall looking for help, but both of his teammates rotating out for boost. Want to play it safer rather than sorrier. That's definitely not how that saying goes by any means, but everyone understands what I'm trying to say. QUp on the back foot, a couple of goal line saves, but have to get this one off from Stu. It's a lofting ball right over their crease. Hep's toying with it, but a good challenge from Kiwi coming off his own backboard will send Casino going to regroup.
They burned a lot of time, though, off this clock. Half it left to go in a pivotal game number 3. Winner moves on towards the winner's bracket final. A chance to secure yourself in that grand final, guaranteed prize pool, and that extra game advantage from going through winners. But not so fast. Mega wants to bring the offense. Waterfall was perfect, and Kiwi, it drips right into their pockets for a beautiful QUp goal.
It's a really crucial one at that too. One that's kind of gifted. It's not one of the most immaculate goals we've ever seen. No tic-tac-toe team play going down the length of the pitch, but they all count the same. And Q Up Mana, despite being down in shots by quite a large margin, has equalized the scoreline, although I say that, and there'll be immediate concession following this kickoff. This 50 here along the sidewall just sends this one careening to the opposite side of the pitch, and Creature uncontested for the open net.
Heps just did such a good job there off a kickoff, steals away the side boost and pulls two defenders to his face. And then even after that, Heps wins the touch on the side wall, sets up the teammate Creature, has been setting him up all game long. Creature looking for a little bit of meckiness, pops it up high, and Yoko has to use a little bit more boost than they would have wanted to get it cleared out, and even gets bumped across the wall. So their line into the net isn't the most beautiful, and Casino takes it right away from the corner.
Casino looking good. They haven't conceded any bit of their pressure. The second that Q Up Mana scored, they just said, okay, we'll get it right back, and answered it immediately. Stu, waterfall touch off the backboard. This one sent screaming out the opposite direction by Creature, and we've seen this rhythm a couple of times already this series, just buying time in Casino, looking for time and space to grab possession to set up a play. But the longer we stay in this neutral period where both these players are just dumping the ball back and forth to each other, it only favors Casino. They are the ones with the lead. Pressure's not on their side as Kiwi tries a shot that'll find itself just far left of that wide post.
Just need more opportunities at this point for Q Up. 5 shots in total on the team. Creature alone has more than that with 6. Output, output, output. Casino has been playing the defense phenomenally, and Heps as well has just been able to get out some dangerous shots. Both of the assists on the 2 goals from Creature, and with only 30 seconds left, Q Up needs a goal, or it could be a date with a lower bracket.
Good touch by Mega. Kiwi just wasn't expecting the immediately outward angle coming off that back wall. Mega chip forward. Can't collect, but actually has the mind games. It was Casino reading a ceiling touch. With that being said, though, they still need to go the length of the field, about half of it now at this point. 2 seconds on the clock. It's going to have to be a 0-second goal. Yoko, chip over one, trying to find the bump. It's cut off. Kiwi was trying to use the ramp to play it up the wall, but it hit the ground just before then, and that will do it here for our series. Casino walking away the victors of the best of 3.
And on we'll call it a reverse sweep, even though it was back-to-back game wins in a shorter series. They get the job done. They move over to that winner's bracket final. And like we said, you've been playing a lot of Rocket League already if you've made it towards this point through 60-some teams that signed up here today. And we'll take a look at our bracket. Still don't know who's going to be moving in from that upper bracket just yet, but there will be one other team going to be playing this. And obviously, if you guys at home want to be that team that's sitting in the grand finals, earning yourself some cash money, make sure you join the Frost Discord. These tournaments are free to enter every single Monday night.
We will go ahead and cut to a short break then. We'll wait for the result of the opposite semifinals match. Noah Petruna versus the preschool. Sorry? Oh. I'm being told we actually have updated score lines here.
Oh.
So yeah, it is a game 3 between both those rosters. Noah Petruno won the first one 3-2. The second game over to the preschool 2-1. Both those games only 1 goal differences, and so a very tight game 3 that should be ending soon, and the winner of that will play Casino on the other side of this break.
I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the putting in.
Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice tracing on my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable. But I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me. But something about it makes us so, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you, you break me. Holding our love in chains of gold. I break you, you break me. Holding our love in chains of gold. Frozen in a dream, I can't escape the thoughts of you. If I try to leave, when I'm with you I can't move. It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me. But something about it makes us whole, baby.
back here at Frosty Sports after our short break, moving our way on into the winners bracket final. We'll expand our series out here towards a best of 5, and the winner of this one gets their spot in the grand final with not only guaranteed prize pool in their back pocket, but also that big game advantage in the best of 7. Still Llama and Quan up here on the desk, and Quanzek, it was a fun first best of 3. We went to all 3 games, and now we get to see an even better series.
Yeah, theoretical reverse sweep that we had there. There's no real. It's a best of 3. I think best of 5 is when you can start talking about that threshold. But these two teams coming out here for the grand finals, or winners finals, excuse me, a lot to play for. And honestly, this could be the grand finals. And then I'll circle back to my misstep there. Noah Petruno versus Casino, 2 rosters that have a lot of firing power on either side. And such a crucial best of 5 coming up here, Llama, because as you prefaced it, the winner doesn't have to worry about dropping down. The losers already has a payday. And if you drop down the losers, there's still a world where you finish 3rd. So a little bit concerning from both of these teams, and they're looking to book their ticket into the grand finals without much worry of tempting fate.
And I think for Casino, trying to get to the grand finals here early would be ideal. Getting out in the series is also going to be ideal for the crew. Remember back towards that last series that we got to watch, couldn't win that game 1. We're never leading at any point. Started to turn it up in game number 2. But if you drop any games against this Noah Petruno squad, the number 1 overall seed, they are going to take it and run.
This is going to be a lofted shot on that Stu will handle readily. Noah Petruno trying to get on the board first. They're the only team that's registered shots. 3 in the opening minute. We saw them come out. They're really hungry, looking to set the tone here. Flip reset from Mars. Uses to recover, and that's a very quick blistering pass over to Impo. He did handle it, but just couldn't generate an opportunity out of it. RS flip reset, another dime over to Impo, but that bump will mean everything comes to a halt there for Noah Petruno, and Heps threatening on the opposite end. RS will collect the save for Noah Petruno on that shot by way of Casino.
See if they can keep the defense up here. Heps has to save away 14's shot there, and they're going to keep this followed up. Double commit on the low ground. The creature save will send it upwards, and Heps is going to challenge Aris on that back pedal save up in the air as well. So for both these two teams, it has been stalemate over stalemate. Only the single shot for Casino, as they've been forced to make a lot of defensive plays throughout this game so far. And I got to say, Noah Petruno is starting to really find their groove in this game number 1.
They look good. Another spot-on challenge here by Aris, as Impo will have to flip back. That's the first miscue we've seen from them with a double commit between Impo and 14, but I'm really being nitpicky here because immediately called off was 14, and they were able to get back into their rotation. 14 centering ball. Aris saved by Creature, still trying to keep it on, was 14, but it will make its way over that midfield line where Creature will just push it ever so softly into the corner, try to buy some more time and space, but Impo says no thank you, return to sender, I don't need this ball in my half, and Heps gonna return the favor. Creature save it to his own corner, and some back and forth action we're seeing right now, Llama.
Yeah, so some good package delivery. It's getting lost in transition all over the field of play. With only 2 minutes left to go, though, a single goal could be the decider. And for Casino, we remember back to that game number 2 where just the 1 goal was enough. The demos from Aris, the pop-up from Stu, bar, down, and in for the Casino first strike.
Despite them being on their own goal line for the majority of this game, Stu just too fluid with it. 14, I think, actually got a piece, but Stu landed where that ball basically fell down on top of him. And that's going to be the opener for Casino, a crucial one, because they've been the team that's had to ward off the barrage of shots coming out from Noah Petruno, and this goal scored with not the most time on the clock, which means pressure going to be on Noah Petruno's half, and they're looking to find a very swift equalizer. Impo opts for an in-and-out save and actually hits it perfectly to ward off any sort of second unanswered goal.
Using a lot of boost on that upwards drive, and 2 goals better than 1 to score to build a little bit more of that safety as we talk about. But for Casino, what a win it would be in game number 1. A statement. Noah Petruno going to work their way up the field, forcing a little bit of friendly fire on the Casino defensive. They've got those 5 shots built up from just the 1 they had earlier. And with that 60-second marker ticking towards the scoreboard, Casino are just playing very comfortably back in this back half. Even through a demo, they get it up off the side wall and set up another passing play to burn down the time.
Coast to coast play by Creature, and he's rewarded with a full boost to try to get this one in. Double tap, and it's a musty flick clear by Aris, finding 14. Stu has Creature in tow, just gonna have to take it himself. Air dribble, bump attempt that Impo handles miraculously, and oh my gosh, how has that not gone in? A second attempt just wide. The defense for Casino is all over the place, but they hang on by a thread and maintain the 1-goal advantage.
I mean, Heps kills Eris there on the entry to the zone as well with under 10 to go. It is just up off the backboard. Casino with all the control all day long. Triple zeros for Eris. Is it now? It's now or never. The question of the floater in the air. Creature to Stu, back to Impo. And Eris, one final set of 14. The shot, corner, bouncer. And it's not done quite yet. The rule 0. Play it towards its fullest extent. Eris, backboard, Impo. Denied! Bouncing save! Casino wins game 1.
I thought that was it. I thought Noah Petruno fought hard enough to find that 0-second goal, but the defense from Casino too strong, intercepting passes, finding that last second save, and 1 goal was the only difference that separated these two teams. And I think we're in for a series here, Llama, in our first best of 5 of the tournament. That was exciting to watch. So much back and forth action. That felt the pace of play much quicker than our previous series as well. And it's obvious that both of these teams want to book their ticket, want to win as soon as possible over the other. Casino, hang on for that game 1 victory. What does Noah Petruno have to answer in this game number 2?
Feels like you gotta answer very quickly. If you don't win this game number 2, Casino will have 3 chances to close it out and maybe even a sweep. Creature, the real hero of that game number 1 with 5 saves. I mean, we talk about Noah Petruno coming out quick. Casino just set themselves really comfortable the entire game, made a couple incredible saves. Now can they do it again?
It is a big if defensively to play at that level, especially against a team of the caliber of Noah Petruno. It's a tall ask, but one that they succeeded with in game number 1. Maybe some insurance this time around for Casino would do everybody a favor, saving them the heart attack, the anxiety. Heps collecting this pass, has Stu lying in the weights, but just can't do much with that ball besides tossing it towards the Noah Petruno backboard. This one hard off the corner. Creature gonna chase down, actually beats everybody with his touch. Is it gonna sink south the crossbar? No, it's off the bar and back out, but maintaining possession will be Casino. And Heps just has to regroup, no boost, and 14 was already up for that ball.
They will steal it at least away from Creature, who is encroaching on that boost meter. 14 can't quite get the right-sided post shot either to lace itself in. And again, comfortability on this defensive side. Creature adding towards their save total. That's 7 across the games, and Hep's shot will bounce to the post as well. Transitional offense and power after it. Stu has found the bleeder again.
It's the opening goal for Casino, and the defense from Noah Petruno just not there. It felt like somebody should have been back on that rotation, but that ball filters out into the midfield from the back left corner, and it's really just a tap-in for Stu, and one that Casino will be happy to take to the bake. Stu trying to go for this pancake double touch off that back wall. Can't get that sharp of an angle. Creature has to watch Heps take over, has a full tank of boost, so really whatever play they want to make, it's there. Stu trying to chase this one down on the center from the corner, but Aris was there first. Creature into their own corner, and the defense might be tasked again here for Casino. They'll break for the first time this series.
Took them 7 minutes of Rocket League to get their first goal, but it's Info putting in work, pulls all 3 members towards that right side corner, and then just utilizes the speed pass over towards Eris, who finds the goal. 3 shots to 3, 1 goal to 1, and we've got a game number 2 on our hands.
It's all tied up. And breaking the clean sheet is what matters more than anything, I think, here for Noah Petruno. You know the comms surely saying, we got this, it's winnable. We can score on them. And I know they were confident beforehand, but actually seeing the tally matters! What a save by 14! It'll all be for naught, though, as Creature finds the rebound off of what would have been an immaculate goal by Heps.
I mean, this duo is just so good at setting each other up. We were talking about Creature's mechiness, but Hep starts to pull that out, kind of surprising everyone from the weeds. And that touch off the back wall just sets off a perfect chain of events. You said it. Noah Petruno had to work their bottom end off to try and get back in this game. And Casino, it just seems like they're very calm right now, playing 50s very well, passing to each other, getting the communication locked in. And if they keep playing like this, we could be looking at a sweep.
Yeah, very poised is the word that I would opt for there. It's disciplined Rocket League coming out for the side of Casino, and despite them not necessarily leading in shots, they're even so far in this game. They were down in game number 1. They look much more collected as a unit moving across this pitch here. Heps called off by Stu, by Creature alike. 14 in and out save will come through and keep his team in this one. Maybe a transition play. Aris with the flick. It's off 2 posts, stays out of the net, and that enables Heps to get back in time to challenge the oncoming rebound shot. Can Creature find the save on 0 boost? 14 double tap, can't find the angle. Heps will watch Stu challenge Impo, and Casino, there's that poise we were talking about.
It's the show of great players, what they do when they're on. Nothing left in the tank. Another good onslaught of shots here, and Noah Petruno just not able to find their opening. Stu the steal away. So many low 50s winning it out. Heps has just got an open air shot. Slice the goalpost for the 2-goal lead.
When Casino stays alive for so long defensively, doing so much with what was so little boost in their tanks, Noah Petruno conceding in a manner like that to go down by 2 and give our first multi-goal lead of this entire series is not what you want to see if you're one of their fans watching along at home. It was something that may be the deciding factor in this series, and if this game goes over to Casino, Noah Petruno have 40 seconds to say otherwise. I think we might be headed towards an impending sweep. They just have looked like the better team through and through our 2 frames of Rocket League.
Have a chance to pull off what is almost always the impossible reverse sweep, or if they could score 2 quick goals, could change that course of the way the boat is rowing for now. Casino just seems like they are in steady water, touch after touch, delaying. Eris, here's the drive they need to succeed. Heps gets in front of it before the pass can be created, just bailing out the defense, sending everybody forward, and it's a pull the goaltender type scenario for Noah Petruno, but they don't have any time left. A bouncer down to the ground. Doesn't even matter if they score another one. It's gonna be Casino's game number 2 victory.
And that, I mean, game 1 was close. We propped up the defensive play by Casino more than anything in game 1, for them holding on, being disciplined on that goal line. But here, front to back, they looked like the better team, and Noah Petruno collapsed a couple of times. There were 2 goals that went in for Casino that really shouldn't have. Some bouncing balls off the corner where the rotation just wasn't fast enough, or uncontested shots making their way towards the Noah Petruno net. And so, more addressing to be prominent on the open balls, not let Casino have possession for free is, I think, what we're going to need to see out of Noah Petruno, but it's reverse sweep territory. It has to be for them to get to the grand finals through the upper side of the bracket.
If you lose, you still got that safety net, but it'll put you down in an elimination best of 3. I don't think anybody wants to play that. Of course, for Casino, consistent Rocket League. They have not been allowing the goals. Creature, we said it, 7 saves across the 2 games, and now the answer needs to come through. For Noah Petruno, only a single goal across 2 games. They're going to have to change that in game number 3 if they want to win it.
Creature. Oh, what a pass, Stu. I don't know what happened to that shot. It somehow bounced north of the crossbar, hard off the ground, and I thought that was going to be a tee-in for Casino, but they can't find the back of the net. But this team does look like they haven't missed a beat. They're coming out with the same aggressiveness. And what is this play by Creature? Imagine! He somehow stayed floating in the air that entire time, found a redirect off the ceiling. Unfortunately, it was into the opposite corner, however.
I love just the crazy attempts. It just shows you how calm they truly are in this series to be able to attempt that against the #1 seeded Noah Petruno crew here. Demo for demo, love to see the explosions. Heps just beats everybody. Are you kidding me? Hulk Nation smashes that one straight off the side wall.
That is such... That play, I mean, it looks immaculate, but I feel like everybody at home isn't going to appreciate just how mechanical that play is. To have that swift of a recovery on the sidewall, flip perfectly so you hit it with the corner of your car with that much momentum and slot it into a coin machine in the back of Noah Petruno's net. That is a marvel of a goal from Heps, and one that'll get his roster on the board first in the game 3, that if they win, they're in firmly into the grand finals in sweeping fashion.
And that just feels like the momentum killer. You have Creature attempt the ceiling play, and Noah Petruno is just struggling to get their goals on the board, and Casino is just absolutely bringing the mechanics out here towards the pitch. For Noah Petruno, still lots of time to bounce back in this game, but no shots through the first minute and a half. They have been stuck back here in the paint, and Stu, I feel like the unsung hero. We've been talking about Heps and Creature a ton, but Stu has been making plays.
That's a really good point. The glue of this roster, and he's done the dirty work that doesn't get the love here on call. Doesn't get his name called too often than not, the unsung hero, but he shouldn't go unnoticed, so thank you for acknowledging him. Ours double demo. It's a 1v3 for Creature, and he's able to get back in time. His teammates have now spawned, but the boost totals are going to be low. Heps diving save off of his respawn coming from that corner boost, and somehow Noah Petruno opting for the physical route, and yet that still doesn't pan out even when they remove 2 of their opposition from the pitch entirely.
I just don't know how Casino is making those plays. I thought that had the maybe gas to make it. The post going to save it away. We'll see if Impo has the speed. Flip reset up over 1. We're all tied up.
Man, that one, it just overcommitted here from Casino. Stu, not enough time to react to the flip reset. They were all chasing down that ball the length of the pitch. I don't think it was just me that believed it would have been in, but really good possession touch by Impo initially, and he sets up his flip reset well to get his team all equalized. Maybe 2 unanswered. No, ours can't find it there. Can he find it on the second attempt? It's turned aside by Heps, and this clearance going to connect from Stu to Heps. Heps over to Creature. Creature looking for help, but Aris there to intercept, and we may have ourselves a game for the first time in what feels like this series here, Llama.
I would hope so, but it just gives me hauntings of that last game where Casino, they got the tie-up, letting Noah Petruno back in just to score 2 straight goals on them and close out the game. If Noah Petruno allow 1 more game in the series, it is the series. Backboard, double touch, down to 14, finds their space, and Noah Petruno's got their first lead.
It's a crucial one. Impo, the catalyst for this one once more, doesn't find the angle, but I think it was intended to be a pass. Ricocheting off of that back wall, and Casino, I'm sure they don't want to tempt fate. Being done here in game number 3 would make them all the more happier, but Noah Petruno has now forced their hand, taken their own free existence in this series and thrown it back in their face and basically said, hey, do something. I know you've been coasting for a while now, but pressure's on. Creature can't get into the center off the corner, but uncontested is Stu towards the net. Impo gonna handle that one easily. That demo will open up some space, but Heps just didn't have the boost to get anything going. Has to chase this one down on his backboard. Misses the touch. It's a difficult read, and that now is a cushion acquired by Noah Petruno. 3 unanswered.
Good little set of goals, and unfortunate for Heps, didn't get the touch off the back wall, didn't get the touch falling down from the back wall either. So a nice little opening there for Noah Petruno, and I feel like just credit to them for 14 scoring both of those goals. Impo has another one, but 14's at the bottom of their leaderboard. So it just goes to show Impo and Eris, they're putting in work, but hold your horses if you've got them. Stu finds the lace.
Yeah, we're not done yet. Stu hitting the back of the net. Pay dirt there on that shot. And there's plenty of time on the clock now for Casino to hint at a comeback. Don't call it one yet, but the door is open. Creature, drop down pass. Stu can't connect. Creature, a little bit too high on that one in the corner. Here's Heps to collect. Impo over the top of him. And now this one played forward by Impo. Good save by Stu. As long as they can keep it out of their net, there's time for them to get something going. Shot on. Diving save by Oris. And it is going to be Noah Petruno hanging on. Stu off the back wall. Second attempt denied by Oris. And they've done well so far, Llama.
They're just going to keep it up. They've got to get this goal, though. They're down to 10 seconds left. The 000's emerging. 14 gets a demo, but Impo can't quite get the shot. Will that haunt them? The pass up for Heps. The reset off the wall. The reset down. Can't find Creature. Had the opening, but didn't have the time left. And Noah Petruno get their statement game in game number 3 and bring it back to a 2-1 series.
A statement's 100% correct here. If they don't win this one, they're down into the loser side of the bracket. This one gives them life, gives them momentum ahead into a game 4. It is Casino series to lose. They have 2 more game opportunities to shut them out before any sort of reverse sweep action happens. But Noah Petruno has opened the door. They are threatening something, and maybe we'll see what they can put out here in game number 4. We're not done yet.
They definitely aren't. And obviously this game number 4 always feels like it holds so much weight for Casino. You win it. Good news, you're into the grand final. Good. If you don't win it, all of a sudden, your momentum that you had from winning those first 2 games is pretty much gone. All those reverse sweep thoughts start to build up in your head. So for both these 2 teams, very critical that you take it. Of course, again, to note, both teams, even if they do lose this series, will have a secondary chance. But you said it. You risk getting 3rd and walking away with 0 in your bank account.
It's, after such a long day that these 2 teams have had, not the result that you want by any means. And yes, it is practice, it is experience, but you want the paycheck at the end of it. Heps actually has that one bounce off his car, unintentionally or intentionally, who knows, as Aris will cycle this ball in the corner. 14, uncontested shot. That's a bit high. Hep's going to take over, and finally it's going to be Casino breaking out, but a cacophony of demos by 14. He's looking for 3 in a row. Can't find the remaining defender in Heps, but does enough to allow Noah Petruno to really just exert their will offensively. They haven't left Casino's half in the initial 45 seconds of this game.
Which is good. Eris is going to put on the mechs and send it right towards the crossbar. However, as we know, if they're not allowed to score here for Noah Petruno, we've seen games number 1 and 2 where they get shut out. They just get frustrated that they can't score and then make one slight mistake for Casino to bring it the other way, find a passing play, and then find the back of the net. Casino could just wave off that last game if they win this one.
Yeah, there's so much to play for in this game number 4. Casino don't want to tempt fate. Why give your opposition a game number 5 when you can end it here? They just have looked worse for wear to open things. Aris, pass in field, nobody's there. 14, it's underneath the last defender, and Of all the shots that could have gone in, this is the one that gets Noah Petruno on the board first.
And it's just so unfortunate that neither Stu nor Creature can capitalize on that defensive play. Creature gets pulled to the left side, and then Stu just barely inches above the ball, not able to stop it before it flies on the open green grass. And the first blood goal for Noah Petruno. They've already got 3 shots, shooting at a 34% accuracy right now. Casino, 0 shots towards their name. Again, if we don't step up here for Casino, it's gonna be tough. They've got a couple saves, but they need to reset themselves here in game number 4.
Yeah, I think an entire mental reset is gonna be difficult to find. Noah Petruno, 2 goals in swift concession of one another, concurrent goals, and Noah Petruno looking good. Aris has been the passing person involved in both of these, 2 assists to their name. And Casino, they just don't look like themselves. They're on the back foot. They look slow. They're getting beat to almost every single touch, and they haven't been able to, all of that included, break out of their own half.
And honestly, we were talking earlier in games number 1 and 2. Great players, or good players rather, know how to score or save things with boost, but great players know how to find those same scores or saves with nothing. How about this shot from Creature? Puts Aris back on the foot and gets the save towards that side wall. But it really has been Noah Petruno just so often finding those 0 boost goals with 6 shots already. They're controlling this game with half it left to go.
Definitely in the driving seat, and they aren't giving that up anytime soon. They just are beating every single lofting ball that, you know, could be either sides if they just get there first. It seems like every single time, without fail, it's Noah Petruno grabbing them. I mean, even right here, Creature's just slightly slower than Impo. Impo's going to beat that challenge as well, and because of that, Noah Petruno can sink in and establish some sort of extended pressure. Heps, it's a clearance out that Ars is going to chase down. He'll get his full boost taken by his own teammate, but get a good challenge regardless. And here is Impo with that full boost in tow. Actually doesn't get a touch, which opens up the door. And that's disaster for Noah Petruno. Just miscommunication on who grabs the boost, and the person who got it didn't do enough.
And it's back to that duo. The communication has been solid from Creature and Heps. Heps had the 2 saves earlier in the game and now tacks on a goal towards the statistics, but 90 seconds still left to go. A very winnable game for Casino if they could find one here early. I love Creature's mentality of just send it to the sky, but Aris is going to send him back to the spawn.
Oh, there is time. Casino really gifted a goal, and if they're able to execute, Creature just getting in the way. I don't think they actually made any contact with 14, but it was the threat of a bump, of a demo, that gives Heps an open net to shoot at. And Noah Petruno, 1 misstep, maybe 2, in a team like Casino, they're gonna capitalize. We're all tied up, Llama, and nearing the end of this game.
Creature the workhorse once again. I mean, you said it. Either you get bumped and you don't get the save, or you don't get the save and dodge a bump. A nice little effort there from Aris, and they're starting to bring the mechanics out as well. 14's long-range cannon doesn't quite find a way to hit the brick wall there. And no Petruno, they're turning up the heat here, but have to be so careful. 3 players committed beyond the half-field marker. If you let an easy goal go, that could be the entire series.
Yeah, third man have to be careful here. Don't commit unless you're 100% certain you're going to beat the opposition to that ball. Creature double tap himself off the sidewall, just going to chase down and cause some commotion for Ars. Force him to go high, or Heps can challenge, but still barreling towards Casino's half. Impo somehow generates a shot there. It will end up just high and wide of that upper 90, but they've done the hard work of establishing themselves in the orange half, sent back in by 14 here, and it's going to be Noah Petruno. They'll be in charge to get the 0-second goal, or we're going to see overtime. Lofted across the crease there. Hep's going to jam it forward, looking for help, taking over by Impo. And Stu just says, please, get this out of my half. A 50 will send us to OT for the first time this entire stream.
And it's overtime, the golden goal that could send Casino off towards the grand finals. A good little save off the awkward 2v2 on the early paint play for Eris. Gets the redirect, calms it down in the corner, gets the secondary touch, and then goes for it to pull the double commit out. This should be able to help out the rotations, but instead it's a bouncer back. Eris barely gets there in time, and Casino is putting on the heat to try and get their third goal in a row.
They got a reset, and they're wanting to capitalize on the brief breath that they could take, the resetting of momentum that comes with these late game in a series overtimes. Aris collecting this one in his corner, going to leave the full blues for somebody on his team. It's going to sit there for a while 14 sends it forward. That full blues will be collected behind him, and Impo, the recipient of that, playing it forward for Aris. Stu gets a challenge. It comes away with an orange trail, but still towards there on half. Heps, really good touch to buy some time. Just nothing but greenery in front of this ball. Still a little bit awkward, though, but no real daunting pressure. Immediately off the coattails of that ball, switching sides. In fact, he's back here for another strong 50. We're more than a minute elapsed into this OT. The seconds continuing to tick up, but I don't even know who to predict as a winner here. Both these teams seem locked in.
Both of them seem even, but maybe it's Stu, the unsung hero, the drop-down play towards Heps on the left wing entry. Heps will go back for second. Heps shot is good! The OT dagger! Heps does him in with the hat trick. Casino to grand!
Aris and Impo instantly leaving the lobby. I don't blame you. You fight hard in game 3, you get a game 4, you get an overtime. It was a game that you should have won, in all honesty, when you generated that 2-0 lead. And that goal being the one that goes in overtime, a slightly delayed 50 on the side of Noah Petruno that just sends that one into your own net, and what's technically an own goal, but nobody's going to call it that because we understand the logic there. Just a half second late to that ball, and that's all it took. Casino bounces went their way. They did well to get themselves back into this game 4, but in all honesty, Llama, I don't think they should have been in contention here, and I think we should be in the middle of a game 5 right now.
It really felt that way. I mean, they just were letting it slip slowly and slowly. Casino, as you said, just didn't look like themselves, even through game 3 in towards that game number 4. But luckily, as we said, they dodge away the going to game 5 curse, the possible reverse sweep, and set themselves up for victory. Of course, on the other side for No Petruno, their day is not done. They've got a second life. We'll actually get to watch them next as they go down in towards that lower bracket final. But of course, all of today would not be possible without the Ultimate Gaming Gauntlet. If you guys love prize money, I mean, who doesn't? It's money. Well, the Ultimate Gaming Gauntlet has $2,000 of prize money that's going to be split across like 8 different genres of games each and every week. So not only should you check them out, play in their tournaments, but if you win some of those tournaments, you get to get a voice in where some of the chunk of that change is going to be donated to charity in a matching fund as well.
We will not have a very long break, if one at all. We're setting up the next lobby right now. The lower side of the bracket quickly flipped on stream there. It was Backpack over the top of Trush Me. And Backpack beating Q Up Mana, who we saw on stream here earlier. They've booked their ticket into the lowers final. We'll get that bracket alongside us here again. Both these teams will look to check in. We'll get this lobby set up and good to go on the other side of this break. It's going to be Noah Petruno and Backpack in our losers final.
Welcome back, everybody. Still here at Frosty Esports for our weekly Blizzard Rocket League tournament. Number 169 is getting towards its end. We started with 60-some teams. Now we're down to just 3. And our next matchup is going to be another 3, a best of 3, actually, to decide who's moving back to the grand finals and who is going to end at 3rd.
This is, of any series for these two teams, of way more importance than even the grand finals if you get there. Because this is the difference between, yes, you're on the podium. Congrats. You don't have any bragging rights, and you don't have a paycheck coming in 3rd.
It's true.
That's a big deal. You win here. You get both of those things. You're into the grand finals, and yes, it's not bragging rights at first, but you're at least getting something green come the end of this tournament. So both these teams, a best of 3, only 3 games to show what they have, why they deserve a spot, and it'll be Casino waiting for the recipient. It'll be Noah Petruno. We just saw them. They're dropping down here following that upper final loss. And Backpack, who have worked their way through the lower bracket, dropped down here recently, but it's a solid roster that should not be like, oh yeah, they just made a miraculous lower bracket run. They shouldn't be here. No. I mean, Lev, Bosco, Den, come on now.
It's a great roster for sure. Those that are students of Frost, you could say, recognize Lev from the usual number 1 seeded team that got broken up because Nitya goes on to do better things at Cumberland University after graduating from the high school level. So lovely team here. Of course, like you said, had a tough road to work their way through the lower bracket, but they're here. That's the most important thing. And you're in a best of 3 where this first game holds so much weight. I mean, we saw a reverse sweep earlier, if you want to call it the reverse sweep, going all 3 games. That could happen again. But more than likely, you win that first game, you have 2 games to try and close it out.
Aris chipping this one forward, taking it off the hood of Hezi, and Impo almost shot of a cannon, just blistered in there from the side of the screen to find a touch. Impo off the corner, redirect, no, leaves it for Aris, who tries for the far post, ends up just wide where Lev will look to take over.
From the air, from the ground, lots of different places to try and attack from. And I love the new Lev name, spelled incorrectly, Levin, something like that, whatever you want to call him. So a great name change nonetheless. It's Lev pushing it upfield and getting it right back to that offensive side.
Here we go. Den, good chip, and it's a crucial one. Backpack. It's felt like they've been stuck on their own half. Noah Petruno just haven't actually hit the net, hit the target with the shots that they've been taking, which more than anything, you just want it on frame. You never know what type of bounce it's going to take. Lev, good redirect shot. Impo going to find the save, has some greenery in front of him to work with. Off the ceiling goes Lev, and is he going to chase this one into the opposite corner? Or that might not have been Lev, that might have been Den. A 3-word name that as they're flying through the air at supersonic speeds, hard to keep track of, so forgive me. Bosco air dribble bump. I don't know if they made contact, but that's just sailing in for Den. What?
Just kind of steals it away. Eris, I thought, was going to Impo, was looking for a pass, some sort of miscommunication, and Bosco cleared out the net even though there was nobody else there. And you know what? Get you a teammate like that. That's not going to steal your goal.
True. No need for an extra 100 points in Bosco's favor. They'll earn him some brownie points with his team. And I thought Bosco found a bump, but it was actually Hezi blowing a tire when they went to go take off, accidentally side flipped on the takeoff, which led to them not being able to find a touch. And on the board first goes Backpack. Impo leaving that midfield boost for his teammate and has so much space here, just trying to mind game Bosco. Sorry, Llama.
You're all good. It's going to be back up into the air here, and obviously the mind games have been playing off for Backpack. It's 5 shots towards the 1 on the other side for Noah Petruno. It's just getting a little bit slower into these series. For the 1 series we saw in that previous best of 5, really just unable to find their groove, it felt like, until the 3rd game. The bar's going to rob Backpack of yet another goal. Hezi tries to save it, and it's the slowest goal in Rocket League history for Backpack to go up by 2.
I have no idea what's just happened to me. My coughing fit is over. Thank you for taking it back over on a moment's notice. And Backpack, they'll be happy that one falls in. They've looked like the better team, and yeah, slow goal is right. That one was a snail's pace rolling into the back of the net. But hey, tortoise beats the hare. We've seen that show exemplified time and time again, including on the Rocket League pitch just now. Den, what a dime over to Bosco. He used that rear end to redirect it towards the net. Den bumped somebody, but the third man and Lev just a little bit too far removed from the play to get there and capitalize.
I was playing a little bit safer. Instead, Bosco gets another good bump. They are just punching the backline over and over, the jabs to create some of those early space. And honestly, for Noah Petruno, I feel like they need a goal here soon, especially the Aris to Hezi pass would have been nice, but it's the backpack defense, the 2 saves that have been enough, and backpack 3 timesing the shot output of what Noah Petruno put forward. Make that 4 timesing.
It's that number is only going to continue to grow with only 2 shots for Noah Petruno. It doesn't take a whole lot from Backpack in order to equalize that. Lev doesn't have the boost to stay lofted enough to find that touch. Den booming clearance though off his own back wall. The demo comes out. Here's Lev, 0 boost doing what they can. Our shadow defense gets a piece of it, but not before Bosco can go ahead and take over. Bumped up and called off by Den. That's a good challenge by Hezi underneath 1. Open net for us to shoot at. Can they get it on? Bosco, the back check is there in time.
The defense has just been so good from these teams that have played against Noah Petruno. These are big names that they're being able to shut down all throughout the city skyline. And with under 10 left to go, Noah Petruno needed a goal yesterday. Demos fly, sparks are going, and the repair mechanics are working overtime. But Backpack are working easy. With this game win, they're on series point.
Yeah, best of 3, where the game 1 probably carries the most weight of any other game in the series, which for how standard best of 5s play out isn't typically the weighting that these teams give. Usually game 1 is a feeling out period, but it's already Backpack on series point and in dominating fashion here, Llama. They looked lights out, not letting Noah Petruno even glimpse at a shot or at a goal to manifest itself. And Backpack scored from any which way. Yes, there was a few mechanical errors by Noah Petruno, but they're going to have to shape up and quick if they want to keep their tournament hopes alive.
And it's exactly that. I mean, there's no second life, third life, whatever you want to call it. There's not an extra bracket you're dropping down to after this. So it's the same story as we said in that previous series for Noah Petruno. You didn't get a goal in the first game. In the last series, it took you a little bit of time to even get that goal going into the second. The second game just cannot be slow. This is your tournament hopes, the number 1 seed on the line. Of course, there's always next week, but you want the glory this week. You don't want to have to wait 7 days.
Yeah, the glory, the title, the money, all of it. Why delay your own dopamine? Nobody wants that. Ours, flick forward. Bosco to the side wall, and Impo. Just a possession touch that actually allows Dent to take over, and it's already lots of cramping pressure coming out here on the side of Backpack. Basically taking this other roster in Noah Petruno, putting them in the Backpack because they haven't been able to leave their own half. Finally, there's some breathing room, some space found, some textbooks moved around, but Bosco just gonna take it right back in and say, nope, you guys cannot leave. This is where the ball will stay until we score, and he's there once more for the save.
Pushing up really heavily, just forcing some of those saves, as you mentioned. Backpack, though, the defense to step up the transition, never allowing a real double touch or any sort of danger to create inside of the paint. I love Bosco always going up to contest as well. Knows that Lev has his back, the third man rotation, the save into the offensive switch. Den has been there as well, and Backpack early are really showing off some great offense. With it being 0-0, Impo wanting to strike first, lays an egg off the backboard, and Hezi's shot will bounce off that same backboard too.
Den just getting told to shoot at the net, tries to go for that far post. He had his teammates running interference all the way down the length of the field, but couldn't connect on that shot. Look, Aris Uses all of his boost to find a pass over to his teammate, but won't come to fruition there as Bosco. Outfield breakout to Den. Den back to Bosco. Little give and go, but the shot not there. I believe it was intended to be a pass for Lev, but well read defensively by Noah Petruno. Now Hezzy looking to make their mark known. Lev gets the ball and the full boost. Dev chasing this one out. Can't get there in time. Impo to Hezzy. But Bosco, how many times have they been there last second to collect these balls? They haven't necessarily been saves, but they've been enough to turn the offensive, redirect it, outlet it towards the corners.
It always feels like they're there for each other, never overextending, getting the third, and Bosco might have just saved a goal by kicking the legs out from under the Noah Petruno offense. Hezzy carrying back across the goal line, always dangerous, gets a little bit of a bump up in the sky, and Bosco's going to be able to handle that one through and through. We're halfway through this game number 2 with Backpack still leading 1-0 in the series, and they're driving Den over one, but can't get under the third.
Bosco just opting to leave rotation. Den and Bosco both getting carried by Aris, who just turns back in swiftly on a dime, removes a defender, and the shot placement from Impo is immaculate. A quick transition play shows you the threat that this Noah Petruno roster has from anywhere. And just like that, if you blinked, you might have missed the goal. Noah Petruno on the board first.
Much needed a goal, gives them some offense, getting the demos in instead of just the midfield demos that we had seen before, actually using it to score those goals. Aris, the redirect off an enemy, will find the second for Noah Petruno.
What happened here? How does that... It had an orange trail though. I guess it like skimmed one of Bosco's tires, but yeah. That's just in, and all of a sudden, Backpack are down 2 with Noah Petruno looking to force a game 3. The only other best of 3 we had on stream was this same timeline. Ended up in a reverse sweep, and that may be where we're headed if Noah Petruno can hold on and follow this one through all the way to the end. Obviously, Backpack don't want to get there, but in order to equalize this, they need to break out their half to begin with.
Gonna need to find some of that offense where they've had 3 shots matching what Noah Petruno has put forward, but really haven't found those passing plays that we've come to know from this team in a short 1 game in this lower bracket series. Of course, even the story to get here for this team, incredible. Maybe they can find something off of a beautiful pass. Instead, Hezzy gets in front of it before it gets too crazy.
Mars gets the reset off the ceiling, has Hezzy just bumping the remaining defender, got rid of Den, but Lev coming from his own corner will find the save. Ooh. Den going for the same play now with Bosco running interference, and that might be the most gingerly scored goal we'll have on stream. We had a slow one earlier, but Den, a nurturing touch to get that ball in and cut the lead in half.
I mean, Hezzy just got caught up in the corner of the net, couldn't quite get the angle that they wanted on the escape, and all of a sudden, I mean, flashbacks again towards that game number 2 in the previous series where it was the bounce back against Noah Petruno. It's 40 seconds left to go. The shot lead now switching over to Backpack, and they've got some confidence in those wheels. We'll see how it can help them in the final 30.
You see the momentum, the shift in mentality coming out here from Backpack. They do need to actually execute though. Bosco, high tossing touch over to himself, using that full boost he grabbed in the corner to its full extent, and now just has to retreat, let Den take over. Hezzy, good touch, good reaction time. He's gonna go all the way by himself, and just like that, Hezzy grabs the hammer, gets a nail, and puts it in the coffin.
Beautiful little touch at the end of it to get it over the final opponent flying their way. And if Bosco hits that, it might honestly be a goal the other way, because Impo and Aris had committed for that first midfield try. But with the second goal, as long as that kickoff shot didn't go in, it will be a game number 3 force. And Noah Petruno won every single goal to add to it. It'll finally bounce down to the blue grass. We're going to one final game. It's an elimination best of 1.
It's earned from Noah Petruno. I mean, Backpack far and away looked like the better team in game one, and the script has been completely put on its head here. Noah Petruno, a 180. They looked like the better team through and through. Got the job done. So, earning themselves a game number 3 here onto Backpack, the winner into the grand finals, guaranteed second place, guaranteed a payday. You've played the last, what, 3-4 hours of this tournament of Rocket League to get to this point, and having it end without anything to quote-unquote show for it, not ideal. So these rosters looking to make their stamp and come out with setting the tone. I think whoever can set the pace and get the goal early, establish themselves as in the driving seat, controlling the pace of play, I think will be off to the races. And wow, what an astute observation for me here in the caster booth. But that's what it's really looked like.
Score? You're telling me I've got to score more goals, and I'm supposed to score before the other team scores? That's actually really interesting. I'll take that into my ranked games.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's key, very key to this game. If there's one hint, one tip that anybody can give you, I think it's that one.
Well, that's a good tip, and I think it's a really good point for Noah Petruno. They've had a tough time coming back from deficits. The ability to score first is going to be important. They've got the momentum somewhat on their side from that game number 2 win, so trying to pull off that short reverse sweep. But we've said it before, Lev has been a champion here at Frost so many times. His previous team holds the record at Frost for most weeks won in a row, which was 8, by the way, 2 straight months of winning for them. So they know what it's like to win, but Noah Petruno stands in their way.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the game, and we have a little bit of a delay as we're waiting for all of the players to be ready. I believe it's either a bathroom break or a very extended preset change coming out here. We are grabbing food, apparently, is the verdict. So whatever you got through DoorDash or Uber Eats, you better share, because that sounds really good right now. I'm very hungry.
Okay.
That's... Man, now my mind's on food. I want to get some just greasy food to end my night with. It'll be... Maybe I'll order it before the grand finals. Here we are, though. Game 3. Everything at line here, on the line for these two rosters. And, you know, we've seen both sides of the coin already. Game number 1, massively in favor of Backpack. It looked like Noah Petruno was done and dusted. Game number 2, they proved me wrong, because I was already counting them out, flipped it on its head, and Backpack looked worse for wear. So where do these two teams level out? What is the common playing ground? And maybe where it's just a recipe for Game 3 overtime here.
I would hope so. I just want as much Rocket League as possible here today. And I know you guys are hungry for this final game, but if you're hungry for maybe a snack, maybe not a full meal, make sure to go grab yourself some Trolley Gummy Worms, one of the sponsor of today's broadcast. And we're headed into game number 3. The hunger can be satiated right now.
That's so well done by you. This guy's a pro, everybody. Literally showing it right now. There's the segue there. Immaculate. Aris challenging onto Bosco. Impo, all the space in the world, but just going to boom it down and then read the defense. He's going to fall down after using all of his boost, but it's going to work. No, it's not. It's off the crossbar and back out. Second attempt. Turned aside by Lev, and Bosco now finally the one towing the line for his roster, but Aris bullies his way through. Impo, short post, blocked by Lev, and Backpack have been tried early here, but they will survive.
It's Lev's double saves that get it done. Den adds another one. The 3-piece saves already adding towards the combo meal that they want to build up for this game. It has been paint defense over and over. 6 shots in the first minute from Noah Petruno. If that isn't a statement, I don't know what is. And for Hezi and Eris, they've been working the sky really well with the mechanics, but have to be a little bit careful they don't get too cutesy and just get punched in the face with Backpack's offense.
In a tight game series decider here, which this game 3 is, any sort of mistake that you make that it can and most likely will be capitalized on by the opposition is one that you can't afford to. Is yet again 2 more saves forced out from Backpack. They've already have 7 on the scoreboard. They don't have a single shot registered, Llama. And we're nearly 2 minutes into this game. Noah Petruno, they are the ones dictating the pace of play. Almost every single shot has been on frame. They just can't get it in, and don't concede this way. Bosco, follow-up Impo, maybe going coast to coast. Can he beat Den? Yes. Finally, it will be Noah Petruno on the board.
Just so much back and forth, but unfortunately, you said it, the mistakes will cost you. Backpack over-rotate into the offensive zone, and it is the 9th shot from Noah Petruno in 2 minutes that scores their first goal. Of course, Backpack survived that early onslaught. Can they get something going here with Lev? We know brings a lot of mechanical ability towards the team. Right now, they've got to get it out of their defensive zone. Have been stuck back here in a glue trap for so long. But here's Lev, beats one, drops the other, but Den's on a 1v2 and luckily gets sent to the corner.
Morris getting a shot that Den will handle, but this is a unfortunately very familiar spot. The Backpack have found themselves in this game on their backboard in their net with little to no boost. Bosco on 0, Den on 36, and Bosco and Lev both picking up full pads will help them break out this ball. But they need to quickly adapt in this game. Otherwise, they're just going to get overrun by the barrage of shots that is rifled at their net time and time again. Only so much battery one can take before you just are forced to concede.
Well, Lev is just going to score! What? The left post slider out of nowhere surprises everybody up here in the booth. From the entire world, the shot was heard.
That pace is so fast. And we just have an American Revolution reference tossed in here. Shout out to the shot heard around the world. Lev, they are the ones that had that one shot out of a cannon. The pace that they found on that, seemingly nowhere. Got them a goal, but they're just going to concede on the other end. Nobody's home for the defense? How has this happened? The challenge comes through by Den, and nobody's there. Impo just sitting there waiting for fun. Nobody's even on the replay screen. What is going on?
He just put it in park for fun and just sat there relaxing, chilling out, having a good time, and it's a good goal to score. At the same time, Backpack, they've got time to respond. 90 seconds in total. It hasn't been the offense or the game that they've wanted, but their tournament life is on the line. Lev gets beat on that side wall, so really tough to get that entry in towards the zone. However, these passing plays, Dawn to Lev, back towards the center. Lev looking for it, doesn't find the bar angle, but the floater, the slider, the save again. Den wants another try at it, but they've got no boost to follow it up.
Couple really solid back-to-back attempts there coming out for Backpack. And they have finally shots of their own. It's not the 15 that Noah Petruno have, but it is 7. And almost every single one of them has forced a save. They need one more, though. And this clock continues to tick down, waxing seconds here. Lev, chip forward. Hezi collects, trying to go over the top of Lev. Arvis going to take over. Challenged by Bosco. Impo, good 50 onto Lev. Aris, shot on. Dev going to turn the side. And Backpack have done well to hold on, but they need to break out. This is it. Bosco trying to find a bump. Den has full boost, but Hezi off his hood. And this one off the corner from Lev that Aris will handle candidly.
It's just 13 seconds left to go. It's the bounce down. It's the unable to get to the zone. And it is really score now or go home. Den gets the save, but at what cost? The corner boost is stolen away, and the long-range save is there. Noah Petruno bounce down to the lower bracket and immediately bounce back. It's gonna be the 2-1 victory, the reverse sweep, and the move to the grand final.
I've seen enough. Anybody playing in future weeklies put on by Frost intentionally lose the first game in your best of 3.
Okay.
This is tried and true. Our sample size is 2. That's all I need. No scientific theory here. No large sample size. It's done. Just don't lose game 1 and you'll win the series. Coming back in our second quote-unquote reverse sweep of the evening. It's very well played. And we'll get a rematch. Backpack, they looked good, but Noah Petruno fought back, found a game win, found a second, and one where momentum drastically shifted in their favor. They probably finished that game with close to 20 shots. And into the grand finals we go, Loma.
You said it, it's the rematch. Noah Petruno gets to take on Casino. However, Casino, as we talk about, working their way through the upper bracket, won the previous series 3-1, and now they get the game advantage. They'll start off the best of 7 with a win already in that tally. And if you guys want to take some wins, find some of the best teammates here to join in the Frost Weekly, make sure you join in the Frost Discord. We've got an amazing looking for team section for teams of any ranks. You can also follow our social medias to make sure you stay tuned for not only our Rocket League tournaments, but everything else we've got going on.
We'll get the grand final set up and good to go. It's a rematch. Casino and Noah Petruno with you on the other side of this break.
Welcome back, everybody. Still here at Frost Esports for our weekly Blizzard Rocket League tournament. Number 169 is about to hit its conclusion. We played an estimated 1 million series to get towards this final one, but it will be one final best of 7. And Quanzek, it's a rematch of a series we already saw earlier.
Yeah, one that looked good. Lots of back and forth play. Very swingy series between these teams previously. In a best of 5, it was Casino over the top of Noah Petruno 3-1. An overtime goal that went in off a ricochet. Gave Casino the momentum into the grand finals. But Noah Petruno have worked their way back. And they have a bone to pick. A grudge that's been held against Casino, and this is for it all at this point, Llama. One series left to determine the victor of our Frost Esports Blizzard number 169. Lots at stake here.
Lots of glory, lots of money, and lots of games here towards this grand finals. And obviously coming out swinging is going to be important for Noah Petruno, as we've talked about before. It's going to be Casino entering this with a game advantage, but Impo right off the kickoff. That's the start they needed.
It's a kickoff strat that's pulled out intentionally. They don't send the corner. They send Impo, who would have been the cheat man on a standard kickoff. and they're able to slot it in. You said that they're looking to come out early because we're already in game 2 with Casino getting the game advantage. That you can't ask for a better start. A calculated mind game off the kickoff, a strategy that Noah Petruno execute to perfect fruition. And look at this. 2 and 15 seconds might be one of the quickest starts I've seen in 2025 for a Rocket League game.
I mean, Eris to Impo already finding the double up in terms of the goals, and no Petruno, like you said, bone to pick, chip on the shoulder, whatever you want to call it. The other interesting thing we usually mention going here to the grand finals is the team that sits up there is a little bit cold. I don't know that they're this cold to let 3 goals go in already, but it's Casino gonna have to find a bounce back with all the time they have left.
And R is feeling a bit cocky too, dropping not the quick chats, 2 typed out messages. Letting him know, hey, this one's already over. 3 goals before the 30-second mark. Noah Petruno, tired of eating scraps. They're going to go ahead and eat the chips off their shoulder. A point to prove here. 3 goals, and I don't think Casino have even realized they're playing yet.
It took a second to get in towards this first game. The question is just going to be, can they get the turn around? I mean, you imagine you've still got 4 minutes left to go. You've got more than a minute average of time to score each of these goals, and they are sending their offense. Creature, Hep's already starting to get up and active. Hep's the steal away from the corner on the boost and just putting a face towards the ball, getting some shots on. Here's the Stu shot. Again, the unsung hero, the glue man, as you called him, gets a good opportunity there.
Yeah, it's... You brought that up once for Stu, you know, us not saying his name a ton. And ever since then, he's been unsung hero, third man, glue. Stu, prove a point, man. Your team needs a goal. Make it be one of the most mechanically special goals, immaculate goals we have ever seen. Be the catalyst for this Casino roster and prove that there is something in there that we can stop calling you the glue, because we all know you're a better player. It's just that you're unfortunately on such a talented roster that Heps and Creature tend to take the limelight.
They do love to play that frontline duo, but without Stu here today, as both of us have said, would be an entirely different pathway for this Casino crew. Trying to hit lucky on those rotations right now. Only the single shot for Casino. Noah Petruno up to 6 shots in total on the course of the game. But man, Heps is starting to put in the work off the backboard. Set her up, but Hezi deals with a 2-on-1, and Impo just bangs it the other way, finding the backboard, the collision. Everyone heard that one. That could have been the 4th goal, though.
Yeah, Creature almost cheating a bit too far down as the third man. I understand you want to get something going offensively, but he was a bit deep and nearly had to watch Impo play that one around him into a wide open net. Luckily was able to get back in time. Heps playing this one across, and Impo, the defense just too strong right now for Noah Petruno, only letting in 3 shots and collecting a save on every single one that has transpired. Impo off the corner. Hep's gonna sink in and get a shot on, but easily turned aside by Aura's Creature. Not the touch that they wanted, but they will be able to recover and pass this one over, where him and Stu both combined, but they win the touch regardless, and maybe Heps, no. Discipline, third man, not quite. I thought Heps could get back in time. It's over the top of them, and in for the 4th.
Eris to Impo, Impo to Eris. The back and forth, they continue to trade off goals. And for Noah Petruno, I mean, off of 8 shots, getting 50% accuracy really just tallies up to them being a great passing team. The ability to find good quality shots has set themselves up here in towards the series. However, I always like to say, you know, that this first game advantage, sometimes teams just think, Quanzek, that it's a best of 5. We're just throwing this first game out the door. If we win the first game, sure, we're up 2-0, but we usually need that first game to get back warm in the tournament 4.
Yeah, and you aren't afforded that liberty at this point. Like, Casino, yes, I mean, I understand you have the game, you're even, but having a 2-0 advantage in a game 7 is way bigger than I feel like a lot of people make it out to be. Instead, Casino find themselves on the opposite end of no Petruno just having fun. Hezi has completely sat upside down in turtle fashion. Maybe they were the ones we were waiting on earlier for the food. They're just chowing down right now. He's gonna let Aris and Impo compete for a hat trick and for you know, teams members will be leaving. We've completely thrown away this game number 1, and I understand it's most likely done and dusted here, obviously so at this point, but for a match that's on stream, it does leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth that this is the state that we find ourselves in.
Yep, of course, is a penalty. Don't want to get that on towards your team here for the Frost Weeklies. Of course, a dangerous opportunity as well for Casino. If you get the player advantage against Patrono, could have made something happen here. And just going to bring back the offense here late and try and tag it back. A good statement game, though, from Noah Petruno. We'll see if this game does swell towards the other ones, or if Casino, the bounce back, even from a loss you talk about in that previous series, it went 2-1. They didn't get the sweep to start out, and then they immediately came back from a deficit in that game number 4 to just strike on back. So Casino, even though it's going to be a game loss, it's going to be a chance for them to bounce back in game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, they've earned themselves the game advantage. They didn't drop an entire series all the way through here. They already beat this team previously, and so that will be their get-out-of-jail-free ticket cashed in. We're effectively even here following that game 2, and headed towards game 3 in what becomes a best-of-5, where both these teams now just playing it out with the remaining 5 games in the series. The first one to get 3 victories will win the best of 7. Casino. Maybe cold. Maybe they weren't playing. Maybe Noah Petruno just got so much momentum off of that last best of 3 reverse sweep that game 1 looked massively in their favor and Casino have to catch up. Who knows? All I know is that they lost this game 1. Game 2, I'm all flustered about the scoreline. It was game 2. 5-0 was the deficit, and one that was so shocking to me that I can't even talk right now, Llama.
Tough, you know. It's always like a question me and Q have. Do you count the first game in the total? Is it a best of 6 or something like that? But either way, for Casino, the ability to bounce back here in game number 3 is going to be pivotal. The early goals that Impo had were just killer towards the overall momentum. However, it's overconfidence can kill you in these types of tournaments. If you go into game number 3 with a head of steam and you don't win this as Noah Petruno, you could run out of gas real quick.
Yeah, you have that game, but immediately throwing that away, and this is not a good start to that. A couple unforced mechanical errors coming out here. Heps, no boost, but couldn't get back there, and Stu already cheating upfield, expecting the clear. Nobody was there for the save, and it's another immediately conceded kickoff goal by Noah Petruno. They had 2 just a mere 4 seconds later than this, so as long as you can avoid that, you're already doing better than you did in game number 2.
And it's been the duos that keep finding it. Creature gets a save that almost bounces in for an own goal. But it really has felt like Hezi, Impo, Eris, all the passing plays just start to find themselves locked in. And how about this one? Hezi almost finds the off-the-post shot on in and gets the demo as well, starting to find that aggression. A lot better feeling in this game number 3 than the previous, and the clear of the net, the early goal. Casino has tied us up.
Casino is on the board, Llama. We might have ourselves a series. The shutout is done, and in game number 3, they don't concede multiple off the opener. They find a goal to equalize what was an ugly concession early, but they're in it. Already looking better with how that goal was organized. They've done much more already in this game number 3 than they did in game number 2. And here we go. I feel like I'm alive now. I'm in it. I'm active. My energy has been given back to me. I'm excited to see the rest of the series.
Obviously, this game 3 as well, very pivotal. This shot is just almost in. Eris with nothing left in the tank had to use fumes to make that save. You win this game, you're back in control of your own destiny, back in control of the series. Eris has showed the mechanics, and Impo is looking for the pass and play once again as he tries the aerial onslaught as well. Creature gets bumped away, but still, the calmness inside of this Noah Petruno storm just makes Casino get better and better on the confidence meter.
Good bump there by Stu, but Heps doesn't have the boost to capitalize, and that means Eris can sink in for the goal. Stu removed him, but he still had enough boost ammo momentum to get back there. Had Heps had any amount of boost, I think that's a different story, but when you're stuck in your own half for this long, you're gonna get starved. They're gonna grab your corners. You can't take those longer rotations to collect the pennies that are littered across the map, and that just comes to show you that if you can't find a solid clear, it's going to come back to bite. Heps looking for redemption there. Can't get that shot past the defender guarding their back left corner. And look at this. What a touch. What a pass. Impo collecting their second.
Absolute shred of the defense, because that aerial 50 not only gets the touch but bumps Creature off of their line, and then the follow-up, just a little bit of coagulation towards that left post. Two players sitting on top of each other. It's going to be the 2-goal lead here for Noah Petruno off of those 5 shots. Eris back up looking for even more and finding the confidence after getting the reverse sweep down in that lower bracket final. Both these two teams are guaranteed some cash money, but Noah Petruno, it's not the extra goal. The post line saves it.
I feel like had that goal gone in, we might have seen the beginnings of a mental collapse on the side of Casino. You know, you fight hard for that equalizer, then immediately concede 3 more on the back end. Heps just keeping that out of the net. From personal experience, 3 goals seems like such a mountain to climb in terms of a comeback. 2 goals is doable.
Yeah.
And that's what Casino's looking to do here, especially the higher up you go in Rocket League action, the harder goals are to find. And we have the bubble teams right now that at any given open in the RLCS can make a run. Impo collecting this one, double tap off the backboard. That one will hit off the backboard before it finds its way towards the net.
Had the chance to bounce in. Hezzy sidewall win, gets another without boost, is challenging Stu, making them work. Eris's shot is towards the post and a little bit off target, but the falling star will fall right back into their hands for a back pass, just controlling every single bit of possession, and a double commit sitting right on top of each other. Impo takes out one, the shot, the save, and another battle back towards the corner. Noah Petruno, that was their 8th shot they just put up on the board, and still Casino finding these defensive saves. It feels like they're on the doorstep of flipping some of that momentum. They just haven't been able to find the goals this game.
That's what matters, though. Defense can only get you so far, and they've played well to limit them to only 3 goals on the sheer amount of shots that Noah Petruno has. With that being said, though, we're about to get the 1 minute remaining. A flash up here on screen. It's going to be 2 goals necessary for Casino. Father Time not on their side. Heps chip up to themselves. This is the person you want to be the catalyst for that your team. Heps can score from nearly anywhere. Creature collecting that boost in the corner, watching Heps clear this one. Just gonna loft, wait patiently there on the sidewall, looking to capitalize, pounce on any sort of loose ball, but it will be Casino only continue to get stuck further and further in their half. Ars doing well to buy time, gets 3 flip resets in that same sequence, but maybe that's just in. I don't know how that's happened, but Creature, a very soft touch, puts it underneath the bar, but has enough pace to get over the top of Impo.
I mean, that's just a really quick passing decision. Heps, I thought for sure was going to drive to the net, try and score it off a backboard double. Instead, Creature is the recipient of the passing play, and all of a sudden, Casino within 1. Stu with a steal away from Impo's aerial opportunity, and now Heps is doing tricks up in the sky. Pass to Creature. Creature wins it. Back to the side wall. Impo luckily gets it out of that defensive zone. 10 seconds left to go. Eris ones to clear it, but have they committed too far? The pass upfield, Creature shot backboard, double is unavailable. The bouncer back to the ground, Epps has to keep it alive. Triple zeros, Aris the battle towards the corner, the bouncer, and Noah Petruno, their early lead, gives them the game number 3 victory.
And despite the game advantage deficit, it is now Noah Petruno leading in the series, and Casino just don't look like themselves, admittedly. They played like a different team in our winners finals, and we're not seeing that from them right now. Casino, the only game win they have in the series so far is the one that was handed to them because they didn't lose in the upper side of the bracket. What my concern is here, Llama, in a best of 7, almost every single game you can point to being, hey, this one is really important to win. We're heading to game 4 here. It's a 2-1 advantage over to Noah Petruno. If Casino win, we're all tied up at 2 apiece, and it's anybody's series. If they lose, it's 3 consecutive match points on the side of Noah Petruno, and that is a very tall task to overcome.
And it feels like, especially when you're playing a team that is just booming with confidence, just starting out every single one of these matches so quick. They need to shut down Impo, especially on these kickoff early goals. Dig yourself, not a grave, but dig yourself a little monument to walk up on top of to try and hit them from that top rope. The offense was starting to click towards the end of that game number 3. But yeah, you said it, 2 very different trails we could go on. Which one we'll go to, we'll have to see at this end of game number 4.
Forbidden Temple is the map, and this is where these teams will look to make their mark on the rest of the series. Heps, they're first, but can't do much more besides just find a haphazard touch on that ball. Hizzy towards the back wall. Impo off the corner looking for help. Bars already there. Uncontested shot. And it's yet another very swift opener from Noah Petruno that Casino just hasn't seemed to have the answer for this entire series.
And it was another just great pass from Impo. Great setup. Found the touch between the 2 defenders that were trailing towards that side wall. Got the pass to the score and got the early goal. Noah Petruno, the lead here. The long-range shot and save from Heps keeps this from being an early 2-0. But it's just the Gatling gun. Noah Petruno, we did not see this from them in that previous series. It is going to be Casino, the battle back. And how about Heps? The side-winding shot over towards none other than the Creature.
Very well played here on the side of Casino. Team play from their own half to the other side. Now, don't concede 2 goals in a row, because this is basically identical to what we had last game. And they let Noah Petruno, they let off the gas, and Noah Petruno scored 2 more goals that made it a 3-1 scoreline. That was just too much to overcome late in the game. So Heps, lead your roster forward. Take them to victory. Plant your flag here. Pass forward from Creature. Didn't find its recipient. Heps. Oh, Creature coming back from the opposite corner, getting a redirect that it was going to be Stu that was chasing it down, but everybody's beat on the side of Casino, and it's just a tap-in from Aris, and this can't happen, Llama.
You start to get a little bit confident, and it's just 2 missed 50s. It's just as simple as that. You don't get a single touch on it in the air. Aris and Impo feel like they have been hand-holding for every single goal of this series. Aris has got a double score. Impo's got a double assist off of just 4 shots. Creature looking to bring the mechanics back to the sky, and I feel like that's the way you battle back. Heps to Creature has been the other duo on the orange side to bring it to the blue side, bring that offense in their face. Casino, though, we said it. You've got time left in this game, but it is not one you can lose if you want to win the series.
I'm curious to see if Casino opt for the more physical route as well. That seems to be the safety valve for these teams consistently when they find themselves in this position. They may concede another one to ours, though, before I can finish my point. Stu thought the first shot was in. And Aris, a fake shot off the backboard for Hezzy to bury.
And Stu jumped it. About inches off, getting the touch, getting the save. But that's often what it's been down to. The close range defense just a millisecond off of getting that save. But it's not a save, it's a goal for Noah Petruno. It's two different scorers as well, two different people assisting on the back end, and they continue to fly. Eris, the setup, the close angle, and the save away. Heps, the hero there on the back end, but has to go for another and can't quite get back there in time. Noah Petruno, the dog pile, and the fourth goal.
You need a complete reset right now if you are Casino. Factory reset, you know, juice cleanse, new year, new you, new game, new you. They need to change how they're playing because whatever it is, it's not working. They will get a goal here off the kickoff, but every single game has basically followed the same rhythm of Casino being stuck in their own half, soaking up shot after shot after shot, and conceding eventually. Finally now, they're able to get back a goal, but they need more. They need momentum fully in their favor, because if they drop this one, I have concerns for them heading into the rest of the series.
Well, just like any good stew, it takes some time to heat up, takes some time to mix all those flavors together, and they've started to enable stew on some of those early entries into the zone. That player we talked about for so long was playing that third man. Here's Creature, one-on-one on Eris, and Bar down, left for F's, 3-on-1, who sends it sailing into the net.
This is 2 unanswered now. 2 unanswered for Casino. I think that's the first time this entire series, it is, because they didn't score in game 1. They only had 2 goals, but that was after getting a 3-1 scoreline that they cut to 3-2. This is for the first time that 2 goals back-to-back have been scored for Casino. They have momentum. They have a chance back into this game. They need to capitalize. It needs to be now. What a touch by Creature. And there it is. We're all tied up. And all of a sudden, Casino has woken up. They've come to life. The slot machines are whirring and buzzing and dinging. Everybody is here and ready to see what the Casino has to offer, Llama.
And they're offering 3 unanswered goals, and honestly, Creature, the confidence to go up 1v2. Creature might just do it to him again. Almost broke my heart with the way he entered the zone. 7 shots on the game, trailing Noah Petruno by 3 in that category. But what a comeback it would be. It could be soul-crushing for the Noah Petruno squad on the edge of series point. And Creature and Heps have combined for 3 goals on this one. You cannot let them extend again. Stu almost beat to the post. Luckily, that shot too slow.
This clock continuing to tick down. We're entering silver gold territory. When somebody scores, it's not officially done, but it makes it that much more drastic to come back from. Heps turning on this one with full tank of boost up to himself. Hezzy there to challenge. Will get the better of Heps there, taking it over the top of his car. Aris chipping it forward, grabbing the full boost as he's making his way along the sidewall. Good fake out, pass out to Impo, but Impo just a little bit too awkward, has to play that onto the sidewall. Creature somehow has to make a diving save after all of that play panned out, and will keep Casino in this one. We're about to hit 30 seconds, Llama, and we might see our first OT of the series.
Overtime would be fun. Hezzy and Eris looking for the passing play to shut it down. Third man is Impo, who can't find the correct shot. The heat up, the goals in a row here, and the defensive mindset of Casino is starting to build up some pressure. Through center, Creature gets the win, and Impo has to jump the line. Now just 15 seconds left to go in regulation. Heps a nice little pass on down. Everybody's got boost, but they steal away the sidewall anyways. Everybody's beat except Stu, who makes an incredible aerial save. Turn it up. Heps backboard. It's the shot attempt, the passing play. It's going to be sent all the way the length of the field. Kept alive for Impo. 000's goal line touch, and the miscommunication sends us to OT.
4 apiece OT, where the stakes, don't tell me this is how it ends. That would be so anticlimactic. Okay, Impo gonna collect here off the kickoff. A win for Noah Petruno gives them 3 consecutive match points. A win for Casino. And our series is all tied up. Heps just gonna let it go. Impo didn't have the boost to jump. Didn't have the boost to turn either. And the hesitation leads to this ball going into the back of the net. Casino, a crucial win where a loss, I think, would have meant the end of their run. But here we are, Llama. There's a series at hand.
We're back to 2-2, and honestly, battling back from quite a deficit. I think both you and I, without some of those goals there in the mid, we just had them written off. They just didn't feel like they were coming back from it. And the big man creature steps up for the Hattie, gets the OT goal, gets the team on the board as well, involved on every single goal, 2 assists, 2 saves, an absolute monstrous performance from the creature. And now, we both said it, we're all tied up going into a game number 5 where one of these teams is getting series points.
Yeah, creature turning to the ones that visit you in your nightmares. He was a menace that last game, and we'll get underway here in game number 5. Again, I said this our last game. Almost every game after the first game in the best of 7 is so crucial. Best of 5s, you see comebacks from 2-1 all the time, but like two shots at closing out the series for either one of these teams with how they've been playing, I think should be enough, which means game 5 to set yourselves up on that pedestal. Gonna be very crucial here to see how things transpire. Both these teams want that advantage, and if Casino can maintain the pace of play that they finally found halfway through that game, oh my gosh, they'll be all the better. And Creature showing they haven't missed a step.
Creature found something, gotta say, going into the half point of that previous game. I will say for Hezi, gonna try and set up Eris as Impo looks for a little dink down the field. Hezi looks for the chonk on a teammate. Instead, it's Stu getting the bump away from one, and these midfield duels really starting to make it go back and forth. No early goal, though, from Noah Petruno. That's what caused Casino so much of their troubles throughout this series. This time around, it is all very nice and controlled. Impo's got a touch that just lays in the swish.
Yeah, I mean, swish is it. That is so, it's such a mechanical play. And I know it doesn't look like it. Well, he just double jumped into an aerial and hit a shot at the net. Look, he had to touch it with such finesse that it got over the final defender, but yet was still under the crossbar. And despite the defender touching it, it still found its way in. Give this man his flowers, because I know it doesn't look impressive at home, but that takes much more skill than you would realize from Impo. It's a good goal to get Noah Petruno back in charge of this game.
It's an early goal, not as early as the previous ones. The question is, can they pile on? That's what they've been doing throughout this entire series. Score again. For Casino, they need it to go the other way. If they want to win this game, Stu and the rest of the crew need to dive up, and well, Stu's going to be turned into a couple of car parts on their way into the zone. And Eris, like we said, so good through the air, lays a backboard shot on as he follows it with a beautiful post ringer. Noah Petruno, 2 goals up.
Yeah, Stu gets a piece of it, but it takes a weird bounce off his backboard and then off the ramp of the ceiling, which sends it out over his crease in a very dangerous position. And that's a spot that Hezi wasn't going to miss out on. So 2 goals gathered here for Noah Petruno. And Casino being tasked with the same question that they faced in game number 4. Can they find it halfway through this game? What a redirect there by RS. Ended up being slightly off target. But the creativity, the confidence being exuded over on the side of Noah Petruno. You see it with every touch they're going for. And this one might find its way in off a push from Hezi. And Noah Petruno looked too good right now.
Starting to get out of hand. Not as bad as the US whatever game I was watching earlier, under 17, that ended like 20-0, but it is 3-0 and a great lead for Noah Petruno. And again, after what was a very, very close game number 4, a good back and forth, they now have this ability to just score and have scored on every shot and will continue to. Hezi off a beautiful aerial handoff makes it 4.
This is... I really hope it wasn't just a blip that we saw, Llama, because they looked so good. Casino did. At the tail end of that game, it looked like they just flipped a switch and all of a sudden came alive. The only recorded stat for Casino this game is a single shot. Obviously, there's no save yet. Every single shot that Noah Petruno has taken has gone in. Here's another shot. There's the first save, the first actual recorded statistic over on the side of Casino. It's going to make its way onto Heps, but they're not out of the woods yet. Hezi backflips because he expected somebody to go. Instead, we'll go and challenge this time around. Darius has enough boost, gets a flip reset, going to opt for the musty flick, but that one ends up well wide. But Noah Petruno, they look unfazed. They haven't left this half. Finally, they'll exit, but it's their game to lose at this point.
And even though this is like a Donkey Kong smashing right now for Casino, it's somehow I feel like they still have an ability to get back in this game with 2 minutes left to go. They've got an opportunity to score some goals, to put some confidence on the board. And even last game when we were writing them off, found a way to win it. But Impo, the double, almost found it off that backboard. Instead, it's Creature's touch-up field. Impo a little bit off position, but will grab the boost and keep it away from danger.
Impo, air dribble clear across his crease, takes a really well-timed 50 that sends this one screeching into Casino's half, where Creature will take over, do a little bit of yelling of his own, and send this one into the inverse corner. We've gone coast to coast in about 5 seconds. Good centering ball from Heps, but won't beat the defense. Here he is, getting a booming clear, hoping for help. It's intercepted by Noah Petruno, but Heps can take over himself. He's played on both sides, a true two-way player. Stu to the side wall, and Casino, they've stemmed the bleeding. It just may be too little too late at this point. This clock continues to tick down. They don't even have one goal on the board yet.
Nothing to show for it, just the goose egg, hoping it breeds the next generation of talent moving in towards that game number 6. With 30 seconds left, you just want to try and get even a cosmetic goal if you can at this point. Creature, who was phenomenal in that last game, has been relatively shut down. Beats 2, but can't get the 3rd. Air is too strong, not only throughout the air, just winning 50 after 50. And if he doesn't win, you see those redirects, you see the pressure towards the backboard, everything, the pivotal point being focused onto that back line. And Info slides up for another, and the post will save it away.
Somehow that stays out. It's a really good save, utilizing the post to pinch it out, but it doesn't matter. We can all give props to it. It can turn to a highlight, but if anybody looks up at the scoreboard and sees it was 4-0 with like 3 seconds left on the clock, they're going to be like, okay, like, so what? It's a good save. It doesn't matter for anything. No, Petruno dropped game 4, the first game that Casino truly won this series.
Yep.
Got it right back. They just decided to take a 6-minute break because we had an OT in game number 4 and come back to their usual dominating self that we've seen this series. And Noah Petruno have earned 2 match points in a row. If they can't close it out here in game number 6, they have a chance at game 7. But with how this game's played, I just can't put too much weight into the game 4 that we saw from Casino because it's been absent for the rest of the series.
And if they would have got a couple of goals towards the end, maybe I would say, okay, it wasn't a blip like you were talking about. They're able to build back this offense, but now they really need to build it back here going in towards this game number 6. No more games, no more lower bracket. It is win from here on out, or you're pulling home the 2nd place prize money. We're headed here in towards that game number 6, and Noah Petruno immediately right off the rip going for those aerials. Heps, green grass in front of him, but can't quite get the double, just steals away the boost.
Yep, still looking, and this might be the first time it's an early goal for Casino. Creature getting on board first. Just too much commotion, chaos coming off of this initial kickoff for Noah Petruno. Double commits all over the place, and usually it's a scatter following the first touch of a kickoff. Everybody's looking for a boost, and they just couldn't recover in time. So Casino capitalizing, and maybe it's a foundation for them to build off of for the first time this series.
It has been Noah Petruno, whenever they're in deficits, really tough to recover from them. And you know, that's the game. Get up with a lead, see if you could hold it for the entirety of the rest of it. For Casino, been doing good here in this game so far, and Creature's shot is just barely outside that left post. Unable to find the secondary goal, but it's Stu that is starting to really step up. Heps didn't quite have the boost, couldn't catch the timing, and that means Hezi can take it the other way.
Here is Impo. Along the sidewall, Heps, it's a pass down, but there's nobody there. He double commit the teammate, which means Creature was on an island. And even close, but that's just such an impossible task. You don't have any room to creep out of your own goal. You have to cover all of it at the same time. They got close, but the shot from Aris just too good, and Noah Petruno will find the equalizer here. Maybe Heps can get it back, though. No, it won't happen here instantly off the kickoff.
Hoping to regain the lead here soon, though. With 4 minutes left to go, don't want to allow Noah Petruno just back-to-back goals to stifle your confidence and everything you've built up, not only in this series, but this tournament. You talk about you worked all the way through that upper bracket to get that game advantage. Now coming in here towards that series, you started down 2-1. You had the ability to battle back, but it feels like it is these next couple of minutes that will decide it for Casino if they can get the confidence back. And not only that, if they can win cleanly enough to get themselves confidence in Game 7, Ares doesn't want to go there, finds the flip ski. It's going to be the second for Noah Petruno.
Oh my lord. That's so gross. I have no other words. I'm like almost speechless. That's such a good shot. Hezi giving his teammate a few props there as well. That was the Eye of Ra, a special ritual dance coming out here in chat. That just shows no Petruno's having a good time, man. They're feeling themselves. They're confident. They're leading game number 6, which only means that if they can come away with a true victory here, follow through the remaining 3 minutes, it's their tournament. But this one, a weird ricochet between Heps and Stu. Actually a pinch. That Creature just happened to be right place, right time to bury it into the back of the net and tie things up.
Hey, I'll say it planned. I don't think it was, but planned. Sure, get a beautiful pinch, pass it up to Creature, and get the nice little tie and goal. So back and forth we go. Heps up the kickoff. Nothing in the tank. Good for the contest. And how about the double up ski from Aris? Unable to get the goal, but it's going to be follow up from the bump and down open grass. Aris doesn't have the timing to save it. Creature, the hat trick in under half the game.
Man. That is, I mean, we've said time and time again that Creature, you know, he's been in a dynamic duo with Heps, but really this series, he has put the team on his back and went to, you know, be as instrumental as ever. And what are we doing here? What has happened? We're just trading blows off one kickoff to the other. It's 2 heavyweights in the ring, not throwing haymakers, but just like lightly jabbing the other person. These teams will take them, but somehow it's 3-3 with exactly half the game remaining here, Llama. And please don't tell me this is another one. Okay, Hezi will avoid it going into the back of their own net.
It's like when you get a heavyweight matchup, but they've been boxing for like 2 hours. So they're like, oh, okay, I'm out of energy, but I'm going to hit you as hard as I can. This is all I got left in the tank. And they're just going blow for blow. Open one of them, knocks down. Hezi finds the extra jab from the low ground. And it's going to be the pass from Aris that resets up the Noah Petruno lead.
Yeah, somehow it's a touch from Stu that probably should have had some more behind it. Enables the assist coming out there, and neither one of the remaining members of Casino, neither Creature nor Heps, could find it on the back wall. It threads the needle between both of them. Turns to an open net for Noah Petruno. And they now have the lead, which means Casino, 2 minutes left on the clock to find one, and I don't doubt it because we've seen a blur of goals go in that we haven't seen at any other point in the series, unless it was Noah Petruno scoring by themselves. But it will be Casino looking to find one, otherwise their whole tournament day is over, and despite coming in as the proverbial 1 seed in the grand finals, they dropped down in 2nd place.
Not the time you want to do that, and obviously not much time left to go. Creature's long-range cannon is going to be saved away. The Impo brick wall moves its way forward, sets up well, and Stu cuts off the close angle, and with this demolition, player advantage. 2-on-1, the respawn is good in their favor for the Noah Petruno defense, and especially with what Hezi did there to just touch it away, can they get it cleared? Just 60 seconds left to go. Another goal here would be devastating for Casino. Casino, they need to get the goals on their offensive side.
Dude, it's an open net. There's the goal that they needed. Just collects this on the sidewall. Impo, I believe they're going for a pinch, but the touch is a bit too heavy for them to catch up to, pinch or not. And enables a free shot from Stu, unassisted. Finds the 4th one for Casino. 8 goals total, split down the middle. And entering golden goal territory. This is anybody's game here, Llama.
It really feels like it. 1 goal could change your life here in game number 6. Of course, if Casino win this one, find a way to get another goal, they will still have to battle in game number 7. Heps, starting from the skyline, Heps goes low, but Eris beats him to it, making sure that secondary touch cannot be made. Working in that offensive side, Casino bounced down. Eris and the rest of the crew calm it down, but they don't want to go to overtime. They want this done in regulation, and Stu wants it done now! The double touch off the post isn't quite there. The save is good enough to send us to the final 10.
How has that one managed to stay out? And maybe it's going to be some sort of brutal goal on 0 seconds. Noah Petruno looking for it. This one sent screaming the other way. RS opting to keep it up. Impo going to try to help it along, but it will hit the turf. 3 consecutive zeros means this clock will start counting up instead of down. It's game 6 overtime, a win for Casino, and we get game 7, a win for Noah Petruno, and that is the tournament. They will be the victors. This one played on forward. Impo gonna get a piece of it, just avoid it creeping towards his net, and Hezi gonna guarantee that one doesn't go into the back. A really good dunk at the tail end of that play as well.
Trying to look from the skyline. Eris could end it right here. No, the save. Creature good enough for 1. Stu now the workup. Stu the reset available. And it's bar down. Game 7 sender. Stu just cooked and Casino gets the win.
Stu was bumped by Heps. I don't know if Stu got another piece of that or Heps followed through. Regardless, it's a weird pull shot where 2 members end up on top of each other, and it works. Game 7 is officially on the itinerary, and Casino, they've looked questionable. To give them much more praise than they probably deserve, they've looked rough. More so than questionable at plenty of times in this series, but we are here regardless. They have fought hard to force a game 7. They did have the game advantage, but Noah Petruno couldn't close it out beforehand. One last game, one final frame of Rocket League headed our way, Llama. Champions Field, here we come.
I'm excited. This is the only way to end a Frost Weekly, is going the max distance. The repeat of the winners final recreated in this grand finals form, and only one team can be the victor. 5 minutes to decide it. Let's crown a victor here for Frost 169.
Both these teams want to get their names in the rafters of the proverbial Champions Field Frost Weekly. Optic Pork, we have a name change coming out here. There's been a few chatter going on about the pork name being thrown around. Some inside joke that I unfortunately am not privy to. Is there something with the old Optic Rocket League roster I'm missing, or some other version of this that I don't understand? Regardless, it is going to be Noah Petruno fully showing themselves that they're feeling themselves with the Hezi name change. And this one, though, awkward on their own back row, Aris will get the clear.
Be battled back to midfield here for Impo. The long-range shot, and Hep save that off of just an inch tread of the tire. The early goal denial, that's been the difference in the casino wins. The ability to step up, make those saves, and turn it up the field for Optic. Pork sends it towards that left wall, looking for the opener. Clear. Eris again. The entry towards the zone is perfect, but Creature is there. The floater, the retouch, and back towards that blue side again. The stalemate, and this one left to awkward. Optic Pork almost had a wide open angle.
Ars chipping it forward. Finds a good 50, and there's Impo over the sidewall, chipping it to himself. Creature just has to play backboard defense, and Hezi a little bit too wide on that shot and wide right on that mark. But the demos come out. It's a 1v3 temporarily. Impo had no help, though. His two teammates rotating out for boost despite the demos that came through. Impo wasn't able to slot himself still, though. How many times this ball gonna cross the goal line before it finds its way in? Creature challenge onto Aris, trying to get over the top of Hezi. Stu booming clear for Hep. Shot on off the crossbar, back out. Creature easily handled by Impo.
Save after save, it's what's keeping both these teams in this game number 7. A total of 0 goals between the two. Hep's trying to change that. Backboard, waterfalls down. Creature gets an extra touch as well, and Eris pops that one dangerously up over their own goal line. It's the Casino offense that refuses to quit. The bouncer pass from Stu! Post to post, coast to coast, and yet the save is made.
Around the world for the ball there in the blue net, and just to come back for a shot from Impo denied on the goal line. Surely that ball was at least 30% covered in shadows, partially over the goal line. Aris playing it forward. Stu just a possession touch over the corner, but Impo's there, forced infield pass, had Hezi, but Hezi was bumped. And now Stu just trying to buy time. Aris saying it back in. And the boost totals are so much higher for Petruno. Aris will draw first blood. It took 3 minutes and some change. But it will be Noah Petruno on the board first.
And Impo worked that backboard like a slab of clay, molding the double commit and forcing the defense to make a mistake. Noah Petruno, it took him a long time to score, and I thought Creature was going to get one right back with all the bumps and coagulation in the back net. Casino wants to turn on the offense right here. You do not want to wait until that last moment to find the goal. Impo's shot is saved away by Creature, but Casino need to get it down to this other side.
The further this clock ticks down, I'm more worried about Casino committing their third man way deeper than they should. Just like you said, Llama, a goal sooner rather than later, so you don't risk that fate of you having to send the house on 0 seconds, the better. You're playing with more comfort. You're playing without the pressure on your shoulders. Stu playing it forward, trying to get it around Impo. It will have to be Heps that will meet that task. Ars will find a challenge, though, and Impo can't do anything besides just toss it towards the net. Less than 1 minute on the clock, and this game seems to have slowed down drastically. Infield pass! Hezi to Impo. Good save by Heps. And that one cut off yet again. Don't let this go in, Heps. That's a good save. But Casino need to leave their half.
It needs to be now. I mean, this is game 7. This is your step-up moment, and even if you score, it might be overtime on the other side. Optic Pork was able to chomp up too. Here's Impo, shot and save from Hefs. The defense is great, but beat on Eris. It's going to be through mid. Optic Pork, repass, regular down, and it's committing a lot of players. Have to be careful, but the long-range shot is going to be saved again. Down to single digits, now or never for the 777s of Casino. Casino. They have hit nothing. The slots are over. The game is closed. And Game 7 ends in Noah Petrino's favor. They are your Frost number 169 victors.
What a series. I mean, there were so many ups and downs in that final best of 7.
Yeah.
But Casino reigned true. That's not the case. Look at this. I'm so locked into what just happened that I haven't even processed who won. You said it. You had a great call about it too. Noah Petrino. They overcome the game advantage. And Casino, they fall short. The house doesn't always win, apparently. They looked good. They played all the way through the upper bracket. They got the game advantage, but Noah Petrino had a great lower final series, and that didn't slow them down one bit in the grand finals, only gave them that extra push of momentum to close out Frost Blizzard number 169. They will reign supreme and come away with that title under their belt.
Deserved. I mean, really worked to bounce back. We very few times see teams bounce back from a game advantage or game deficit in their case. So to be able to just go into game number 1, absolutely slam on the scoreline, and then be able to continue that throughout the remainder of the games, very impressive. Obviously, they were the number 1 seed coming into today, so not a huge surprise that they take the victory, but both teams are going to be walking away with some cash money.
Yep. It took game 7. First place will be Noah Petrino. Well earned. Expected 1 seed, but hey, gave us a little bit of excitement with Casino dropping him down to the lowers first. This has been it for us over at Frost for tonight. I've been Quanzek. See if I point the right way. Is it this way? That way? I had it right the second time. Llama has been to my side, and behind us, making us look pretty, pushing all the buttons, has been Nick. I'll point up this time around. The banner is there. Oh, yeah, no, Llama, I know there's nobody over your shoulder. Don't be concerned. Thank you all to everybody at home who has watched. Congrats to Noah Petrino on a first. Unfortunate for Casino, but hey, you're still in the green, still place second. You guys have a good rest of your Monday evenings.